It's Jim Thompson here. Appreciate the class this semester. Had a great time. There's a couple things I wanted to focus on with regard to this case study, the final, and they are basically how Disney Animation optimized communication and collaboration. As I mentioned before, by the way, I'm a big systems guy, so I'll walk you a little bit through that. The design of the organizational structure that focused on outputs versus hierarchy, creating an environment that promotes creativity, which is really cool. It's something that we do here at the Harbor. Encouragement of risk-taking and exploration, experiments and that sort of thing, that the two leaders really promoted, and then providing the necessary resources needed for the teams to actually get the work done. I thought that was pretty cool. So first of all, I want to highlight, this is the madness called a management system structure that I created. So that's just, without going into the details, one of the things that I really loved about this case study. My first point being the collaboration. Our organization is a little bit different because we're scattered all throughout the globe. So it's hard for us to get together in one room or one building and work together. So one of the things that that I showed or I wrote about in the paper was the use of Trello. So here's an example of a Trello board, and it's easy. You can actually see, Caitlin, if you want to come over here, you can actually see pictures of who the task is assigned to. It's easy enough just to take this board, and if I have a task that I'm done with or I want to move, I can just easily just move it over to another card. The other thing that we use is Slack. Slack is an online kind of communication tool, bulletin board, that sort of thing. Kind of combines bulletin board with Twitter. It's probably the easiest way to summarize that. So these are some of the things that we do that really help to simulate the collaboration and open communication that we saw in the case study. All right, follow me. Now we're going to look at the second point, which is design, the design of the organization and the structure, kind of pre-2010 versus post-2010. So one of the things that we saw in the case study is that the departmental silos really didn't allow for a lot of collaboration, didn't allow for a lot of exchange from one area to the next. It was very inefficient, but the new design of the organizational structure was team-based. So instead of the focus being on pleasing your boss, the focus was based on output. So there was a lot of cross-functional teamwork, typically from 2 to 4 members of the team, and the focus was output. So another point, point number 3, was the promotion of an environment that created a lot of creativity, that promoted creativity. So this is something that we worked on Friday. This was a room that basically was just a storage room. Things were piled everywhere. So one of the things that we did was, first of all, cleaned it up. Second of all, set up the 2 monitors and televisions there. One thing that you'll see throughout the facility is, we've got special paint here that allows us to collaborate, write ideas. It's very interesting as you walk through the building, all of the artwork and stuff that you'll find. The other thing that we did is we took an old door that was salvaged and got a piece of glass, put the bench seats here. So even though this is a kind of a classroom style layout, this back here provides an opportunity for teams to kind of come together and collaborate, and we want to create that environment, so that's kind of cool. The other thing that's really cool is, and I don't know if we have this, but we have a fridge and frequently beer there, so that helps as well. So another thing, item number 4 that I wanted to highlight was how we encourage risk-taking and exploration. First of all, let's talk about exploration. We have Taylor here, our doggie, exploring and wandering about. So she comes to work with us, and that's kind of cool. So that's another piece of being creative in the exploration around here. It gives folks a little bit of a break. But the risk-taking, I wanted to bring you into this conference room because this room is where the business startups, the cohorts that are going through the Harbor Accelerator right now, they meet here every Tuesday and Thursday, and they disclose what they've done right, what they've done wrong, and they get information and feedback from mentors and the other colleagues that are in their cohort. And it's just a very vulnerable situation to be in, and all of that stuff happens in this room. So the 5th thing I wanted to highlight was how the managers were on the same level as the team leaders, which I thought was pretty awesome. And then the managers' status and pay was suddenly equal to the technicians, so or the team leads. And one of the focuses was shifted from managing all of these people to helping to provide the resources that are needed for them to do their job. So that's one of the things that Daniel and I do here at the Harbor. And one example for that is we've got an open environment that really promotes collaboration. We have phone booths. If you need to go into a room and have a private telephone call, you can just shut this. We have these TVs that we've hooked up with Google Chromecast that's enables you to broadcast from your mobile device or from your laptop to the TV screens. We also have, which is pretty cool, a room here that we hold some of our class rooms and problem solving sessions in. We also, as you can see from the equipment, have a happy hour here, usually once a month, which is pretty cool. I actually just got done rearranging this room for a meeting for tomorrow. We also have just the basics: restroom, kitchenette. This one actually has beer, which is kind of cool. Beer and other adult beverages, which is pretty sweet. We have artwork that's posted all over the building, and it's actually consigned. We've got the artists here hanging it for consignment, and you can buy the artwork, which is pretty sweet. This is another area, and like I said before, you've got this special paint that allows you to use dry erase marker and write on the walls. This is a QR code that I created so that if there's some sort of work order request, there's something wrong with the Wi-Fi, temperature, whatever, you can just take out your phone, scan that, and it sends Daniel and I a message letting folks here that have office space know that there's an issue. Each of these desks you can crank up or down, which is pretty sweet. Back to my office. If I need to have a phone call or what have you, I can shut the door, or if I need to have a meeting, or if I need to just pet Taylor for a little bit, I can come in here and do that. So this is a cool spot. It reminds me a lot of how the Disney animation studios probably have their facilities set up, and just happens to be right here in Charleston. So yeah, I know. Great case study, great to meet you and join your class. I appreciate it, all the best, and we'll see you soon.